And now, time for the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Hallman & Company Chairman Tony George.
Drivers, start your engine.
Let's go racing. Are you ready? You are at the greatest spectacle in racing.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Send it! He's going to take the lead back. Tell you what, they are using or pushing the passes up real quickly, though, are you guys?
Oh, he pushed him up. Oh my goodness, we almost have contact midway through the back stretch.
Oh, it's up the middle!
Great! Here we go. Oh!
That right there took a lot of you-know-what. He took Isaac from DeMed. Oh, he pushed him wide. Morris pushed right on wide.
Who's gonna win it?
Here comes Betsy. 3-1 coming to the line at the stripe.
Come on. Wave on.
Wave on, I think. Time in his career. It's his 4th career victory as Alex Van de Sant wins off. He got him. Nice pass by Cohen. You almost wonder if Isaac's maybe jumping in line. Oh, he goes wide.
Isaac back underneath him in turn 1. He's got the over-under. Oh, here come through the S's.
And now, time for the most famous words in motorsports.
A track that is historic for the 24 hours of Le Mans race is officially the home tonight of the LMCgear.com iRacing IndyCar Series finale. Finale, that's a French word. And we're in France on a course that is some 8 miles long. If you don't know anything about Le Mans, you're going to learn today, as today's population likes to say. Welcome in to the NRW Photography Le Mans at Indy. This is race number 10, of course, of the LMCgear.com iRacing IndyCar Series, all part of TI Racing. I am the captain, Chris Scala. Of course, with me, the one-winged angel himself, Gary Godso. And Gary, we have a very historic track here tonight that we are joining, and we are in store for what appears to be a fantastic race this evening.
Yeah, this will be by far the biggest track, almost by double, that they've ever raced on before. IndyCar does not really have much of a history at Le Mans other than IndyCar drivers coming over there and running, and of course Sebastian Bourdais is from the town that surrounds the racetrack there, but we won't have really much to talk about in terms of IndyCar history here, but there's several keys to the championship that we're looking at tonight. We do have the Final Four for the championship. There's a lot of that the stake going on the track as well, as you'll see drivers picking, actually using every inch they possibly can of the tarmac. And they'll also have to, what I like to call, pick a lane when they go down these straights. But at the end of the night, we will do one more thing, and that's another French word, is we're going to crown a Le Champion.
There's only one of those. And he's not in
There'll be
this
another one
race.
tonight.
He's not in
There'll
this
be another
race.
one tonight.
As you see the information on the track here, the 24-hour race, this is the circuit that features a lot of straightaways and a lot of the in-town area of Le Mans and stuff. 86 degrees, which is warm in France, and otherwise 21% humidity, so thankfully it's not super hot. But, it's not as humid, let's put it like that. Cloudy, 9-mile-an-hour winds, and so on and so forth. Some track about 8.5 miles. We got a lot of things we're going to run through here in this pre-race show. Gary, give me some expectations here we watch qualifying right now.
Well, we're down to the Final Four of the championship. That's the first thing we're going to look at, those the four for the championship. We also have the second chance championship that we're looking at as well, and we'll talk about those points. We have the finals of the team championship that we'll be looking at as well. But we'll have some new drivers that we haven't seen in a while rejoin the series for the first time in a while, like I said. And we'll have some guys that we've seen for some new guys and new drivers that we've seen from the last three races rejoin us one more time to kind of put their stamp on this particular season and try to end it on a high note. Because the next schedule, I don't think it's coming out tonight, but I think it's coming out sometime this week, and it's going to be something that everyone's looking forward to.
I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to figure out some audio here. I've been having some issues with Discord, and it's caused me some issues with, apparently the OBS. So give me a second here. It was as we speak. Out here the right options to fix this option, so give me a second here, bear with me as but it has your audio coming through. I'm gonna work on this one, but either way, let's we're gonna get it figured out here. We're having all kinds of issues with this, and we apologize for the technical issues. Julian kind of led me on. You were sounding double, Gary, so there's two of you apparently tonight.
Not forbid, holy crap.
Actually, no, I've fixed your double sound. Now I got to lower down the audio from iRacing, so we're working on that. But hey, let's take a look real quickly here. As I lower the simulator down, this is happening. Update. Let me know, Julie, if that fixes it. But let's work on the point standings and all that stuff coming in to tonight's NRW. A bunch of initials going on tonight. NRW.
Oh, yeah.
Le Mans and Indy. And it's going to be a fun race here, but the schedule, of course, this is the last race tonight. Let's pull that up there real quickly. As you see, December 7th, that is tonight's. Of course, America knows it as Pearl Harbor Day, a day we think about those lost almost 80 years ago. Next year, 2 years from now, it'll be 80 years. Unbelievable, that long ago. But as you see, we'll do 18 laps tonight here at Le Mans. Pole Award winner, unless your name's Isaac Morris, you haven't won a pole in about 6 weeks, and that actually might be changing here in about a few seconds. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes, but as you see, Isaac has been the guy dominating on the pole pretty much each and every week, and we'll see if that continues here in just a few minutes. But needless to say, he has been the dominator on qualifying time. So, point standings, this here is the most important part. Gary, you have some information about the point standings and what needs to happen in this race.
As best as we understand it, I do have all the scenarios for all the drivers that are eligible, that are within reach of the #1 spot. So we're looking at basically the top 4 drivers. That'd be Bensi, Van de Sant, Evans, and DeMay. We'll start at the bottom here. Dakota, he has the longest road to go, and he has just enough drivers to keep him in contention, unfortunately, for second place. He needed 21 starters, actually 22 starters to start the show in order for him to have enough points to possibly win the championship. So unfortunately, he is out of contention for the championship, but he does have second place within reach barely. We will look at him. Cohen Evans must finish 3 places ahead of Alex, 7 places ahead of Caleb, and within 14 places of Dakota for him to win the championship. Alex, he needs to finish 4 places ahead of Caleb, and within 3 places of Cohen, and within 7.
Wow. Other than that, nothing going to happen, it looks like, tonight. So, yeah, we will see here as we're hearing double. I'm working on it. So, I think I've figured out. I've got 2 audio outputs I've noticed in my channel here. So, I think I've got it slowly figured out. But that is the scenarios, depending on where you're from, on what the situation is for the championship. And, of course, we'll keep everyone up to date. Now, the bad news here is if your name is Dakota DeMed. You might have mentioned this, Gary, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself here. Repeat. But basically with the grid we have set up right now, it almost eliminates him immediately. All right, so there you go. So at least Dakota can get runner-up, which nobody wants to finish second. But needless to say, at least that's a positive for somebody who made his return to the league this season. Let's look at the team standings here real quickly. This one's pretty much all but clinched by LMCgear.com Racing. So congratulations. I believe that'll be their 2nd or 3rd straight championship there. Second chance at championship. This here brought to you by, of course, Raceverse and the Happy Trails Chili Seasoning Mix. Isaac Morris leading this one by 6 over Caleb Bensi. And that's pretty much because Isaac Morris has dominated here in the second half of the season, Gary. He's done everything. And tonight, pretty much, what is that? I mean, it's less than 1 position difference, I believe, with the way the points shape up here. So we actually have, what, 2 or maybe 3 at most car race for this championship? And that, of course, is the Raceverse Second Chance Championship standings. Brought to you by Raceverse. If you're looking for iRacing broadcasters for sports car and open wheel league racing on one-off events, Raceverse specializes in broadcasting IndyCar and Formula-style racing, as well as sports cars and prototype racing. Visit raceverse.com and check the previous broadcast and send them a message using our contact form to let them know what you're looking for. And also by Tom Hoover's Happy Trails Chili Seasoning Mix. Add beef, tomato sauce, and water, and you've got World Championship chili. Each winner gets a pack of Happy Trails chili. Isaac's got a lot in the mail, I believe. And also, the champion gets $15 in iRacing credits. Raceverse. So that is the situation there with all the point standings. Now, tonight, the race is known as the NRW Photography Indy at Le Mans. I've got the man behind NRW Photography, Nicholas Weatherby, or Nick as I know him as. Nick joins us. Nick, you got a copy, buddy? All right, Nick, let's talk a little bit about your company. I've gotten to learn a lot about you. I hosted a special event last weekend, and you were to sponsor that also. But you have done so much fantastic work for this series alone. Talk about NRW Photography for new viewers, we call them in TV, that are watching this for the first time ever, talk about what NRW photography is and what you guys feature in. So, man, they're saying here. Hang on one second. I want to make sure you're being heard here all of a sudden, because now I'm seeing people saying Nick's audio's not here. Why am I not hearing Nick all of a sudden? Yeah, I hear Nick. Well, why are we not hearing Nick? Oh, jeez. But Nick, we got all kinds of things going on here. Let's see, audio output. Everything is on, or at least should be on.
This is the finale.
Yeah, right. Of course, they'll race 10 after I've done all the practice, right? But again, for those, I'm going to have you repeat yourself real quickly. The audio, the photography, NRW photography, what do you guys focus on again? And talk about all the good things you guys do.
We focus on Okay, so we're a sim racing business, and we focus on pretty much showing off photos of painters, what the work they've done, ordinary drivers that just like the look of the car, and pretty much also for leagues. I do leagues for I do photos for TI Racing. I do LMC photos for these guys. I do their winter cards. I've enjoyed working with them. So yeah.
And Nick's doing the interview from the back of a kitchen at a restaurant, it sounds like. But needless to say, I'm just joking. I hear the audio in the background. But Nick, talk a little bit. All the fun things. I mean, you guys have done these photos that you got these special graphics, and I know we've talked about this before, but talk about some of the specialty and what makes these pictures pop, because we can always post photos on like social media pages and all these different places, but you do something that just makes these photos pop out. What talk about that magic and what you do.
Well, it's this nifty dandy thing called Photoshop. Yes, Photoshop. I have a specific preset that actually one of my friends who actually taught me a lot on how to do this kind of stuff. He gave me one of his presets that offers more realistic color palettes to like real life. Whereas iRacing, it's sometimes too yellow, it's too dark, it's too bland.
Right.
But that preset, it offers more realistic colors and also more realistic shadows. And I also just go through camera raw filter. I change some stuff, lighting, the darkness, the shadows. I change everything really.
And then also one thing you guys feature in are deep fakes. What are those?
All right. Now, I know people might think that these are like the deep fakes that you see on the internet, like the fake people and whatnot. No, that is not what we do. The deepfake is actually it's a real background of like an actual track with the iRacing car. And what I try and do is I try to make it look as realistic as possible with the same lighting, shading, colors. I try to make it align with the shadows of the real life car with the car from iRacing.
And those things just look fantastic, Nick. And if somebody wants to get a hold of you, and all the cool work that you do, how can we do so?
I've expanded to Instagram, so you can always look me up. Yeah,
Right.
you can look me up on NRW Racing Photos, and you can catch me on Facebook, Weatherby Photography. There at Weatherby Photography, you can always message me. I have these automated messages that you will receive if you message me. I'll get a notification. I can answer. I'm very cooperative. Like if you want something specifically done, like you just want black and white, but only the specific color on your car to pop, I can do that.
He does it all right there. That's Nicholas Weatherby. Not to mention multiple-time starter in Indianapolis. I'm sure we'll see him next season there at that big race and maybe a couple other races. Nick, stay warm up there in New York. I know what it's like at this time of the year in New York, so stay warm. And we appreciate your time. And who knows, maybe we'll bring you up here a little bit here later on.
Hey, if you need an extra announcer, I'm here.
Hey, don't tease us. We'll have you call the start of this race with us. But now we'll hang out and maybe we will bring you back here just a little bit. How's that?
Sounds good, guys.
All right. Nick Weatherby there from NRW Photography. And, yeah, I'm multitasking tonight, as you know. So I'm literally over here messing with buttons and listening to the audio on my phone as he's talking. And I'm like, I hope he's answering the question and all that good stuff. So
If you still need to do some technical work, I can read the starting lineup for you if you like.
Hey, why don't you go ahead and do that as I pull up the starting lineup here as they go through the final corners. Yeah, why don't you go ahead, Gary?
He started first on the pole in his first pole for this series. Eric O'Connor with a 3:21.235. We'll give you some miles per hour in that later. Also on the pole, newcomer Ed Kerstetter. Also on the front row, not the pole, outside pole. Second row, starting third, Isaac Morris. Starting fourth, Caleb Bensey, your championship leader. Starting fifth, the other man in the championship, Alex Van de Sant. Starting sixth, another guy in the championship, Dakota DeMed. We'll be all up front so we can take a look at these guys. Back to row 4, we have Cohen Evans, the other guy in the championship. Then, well, Jim's not in the championship, but he's the important guy. He's the money guy of the league. He starts 8th, 9th, boss man Matt Houston, 10th, Adam Plunkett, 11th, Craig Forsyth, who's coming off a big win at Michigan in the Reddit League. Starting 12th, admin Marion McDaniels is joining us tonight. Starting 13th, Dan Morera. 14th, Cody Claiborne. 15th, Thomas Gould. 16th, Jason Fryer. 17th, Dan Inch is joining us again. 18th is Justin Miller. And I believe that rounds out the field. We got Chris Lewis there clocked in at 19th, actually with the 322, so maybe he's racing. I don't know. We'll see.
I believe Marion is actually the one who is racing tonight, but the pace car is going to pull off here after the second set of chicanes, or shat of chicanes, as I just said. Never heard of that before. But anyways, Eric O'Connor leads him to the green.
Green.
Yep, here we go. Let's go racing here at LeMans. One car jumps to the high side there. I believe that's the rookie. I believe you're hearing me. There we are. Yeah.
I do hear you.
All right, going down.
And we got Isaac got underneath Ed there, right into the Dunlop curves, and we are starting toward the one of the few technical aspects of the track before we start getting and tearing down these main straights here.
Yeah, as they go through the left-hander, that's a third gear corner here, and almost wide open here. You're literally blipping the throttle right there, and you got to be careful because you can get off track really quickly. But now you are on straightaway, and this is where push to pass and the draft is your friend. You have time. I was going to say, you have time to get a drink.
Yes, you do. You actually have a time to chug. But what you got going on here at this particular track, you are able to get. You have 10 pushes of the push to pass, right? There are 5 instances every lap that you can use that button. So these guys have to use that button very conservatively this week.
And that's where you got to be careful because, I mean, when you do the math, you got 10 a race. So that's basically in 2 laps, you could be out of push to pass.
Oh, we got Dakota pulling off in the back. We got Dakota. Seems like he's off the pace. He pulled to the inside coming out of the first chicane. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, looking for him back here as we're on a wide shot here on the camera, looking all the way down this long highway, pretty much, as we want to call it. Oh, and you got some passing going on here. It looks like Jim Herrick maybe getting passed, or was that Cohen over there to the second chicane? It was actually Herrick. It looked like under attack there by a couple cars. He's got his teammate Forsyth there behind him and trying to get position here. But Isaac Morris has gone to the lead. So the 2 car showing his speed already as he has jumped up to the front past his teammate O'Connor. And Isaac showing that, hey, I want to win that second chance championship tonight there, Gary.
Yeah, we got a 6-car breakaway starting with Morris, O'Connor, Kerstetter, Van de Sant, Evans, and Bensey. And then there's a little bit of a gap back to the boss man Houston. But the top 6 are staying within reach of each other. And I think these long straights are certainly helping out that aspect. We're coming into Indianapolis right here.
Yep, and that's because it's literally a 90-degree corner right there. As they come up on the slowest corner, I believe, on the track right here. This is a first-gear corner, a sharp 90-degree right-hander right there.
Yeah, you're not in first gear very often in this track.
No, and that's probably the one corner. I mean, I think to the second chicane, I believe you're in second gear there. As Herrick is off the track back there, he went a little wide there, and they're 3, almost 4 wide back here down the straightaway. Did I mention there's a lot of straightaways on this track?
Yeah, pick one. Leaders are into the Porsche curves, getting ready to enter the Corvette curves here. and we're getting ready to come up along the main stretch here into the Ford chicane. So it's just like that. It's 3 minutes, but it goes by quickly.
And when you're on a lot of straightaway and stuff, those Porsche curves, that is a tricky corner, and they come up on these double set of chicanes here. Look at this. A left to right, this is about third gear. Then you got to come down to second gear, and if you have the guts, you could go to first gear. And then you come off the corner, and that's one lap around Le Mans.
And watch the sleeping policeman, because you can damage the other side of your car.
Do not want to do that. And, of course, you got the big Michelin man hanging out over there on the pit wall. As I see Alex Van de Sant pulling over to the right here as he lets, maybe he had a slowdown, I'm guessing there, as he let Caleb Bensi go by for position. Guys, check on the audio out there who's watching on the stream. Appreciate it if you guys could just give me an update. I think everything sounds good.
Something's up. I don't know. Oh, did he cut the course and he had to slow down? I don't know. He picked up the pace. It looked like he's back under power behind under Houston, but I'm not sure kind of what happened there. He might have cut the course.
Yeah, that slowdown, I believe there is usually about 30 or 40 seconds, if I remember correctly. Usually it's about 30 to 40 seconds, and obviously you gotta, or no, I'm sorry, it takes 30 to 40 seconds to get down in time. I think it's like a 2-second penalty.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, you got that amount of time. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and it's an eternity when you're on the racetrack, whether it's short time or not. Here they come. We got Matt Houston and Van de Sant side by side coming into the first chicane. They get sorted out, and now it's Van de Sant leading Houston out of the first chicane.
Looks like Justin Miller might have had some issues. Let's go back and see what happened to the 80 car. The Floridian had a great finish last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, at Petit Le Mans at Atlanta. He goes over these curbs, and I'm afraid to ask if the sleeping policeman bit him. He's doing okay. He just pulls off the track and comes to pit road. He took the pace car away to pit road. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. But he did. And is on pit road there. As we watch these guys come through the second chicane, you see the wide
not sure
shot.
what happened there.
Yeah. Not sure, but you see the guys. Oh, one car spun back in the first chicane. That, they can't tell who it is from way out here. It's a green car, and he just smacked the inside wall back there. It's Cody Claiborne. Claiborne has had issues. I mean, you can see it all the way in the foreground there of the wreck. Let's go see. Of course, it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go back and see what happens to Cody Claiborne.
He's getting the tow right now, looks like.
I mean, the whole back end was missing off his car here. My guess is he locked it up here into the chicane. Moves down in the corner into the left-hander. Goes a little wide, and oh, he goosed it. And backs it into the Armco. He will be visiting Mother Goose on pit road. That was bad. Anyways.
Well, meanwhile, at the front, the two teammates are trying to do a breakaway, but Kersetter's not letting them go very far. We got a pass for the lead again. Yep. O'Connor on the inside going into the Porsche curves. Now he's swapping back with Morris. Morris now has back in the lead. We're into the Corvette curves.
And Kerstetter right there with him. These curves, I mean, you're literally, and you got to be careful right there. That corner, that left-hander with the yellow stripes on there, if you get four wheels off there, that is a slowdown, and that is easy to get on that corner right there. Through the second, or the set of chicane.
That first chicane there, right there, the Ford chicane. Oh, popping the curves there.
Yeah, don't hit that red one, the turtle or the sleeping policeman, as you like to call him. That thing, that'll flip a car if you hit it right. O'Connor 322.9. Now the question here is, how long can you go on a tank of fuel? Now in a IMSA car or a WEC car, you can go about 10 laps, 9 to 10. Now, I'm assuming these cars burn more fuel, so I'm guessing probably 6-7 laps maybe on a tank. So looking at a two-stop strategy?
I think it's more like, yeah, I think it's more like 7. And I think the other cars that you're probably talking about probably have slightly larger tanks as well. These are only in U.S. gallons, 18-gallon tanks,
right,
give or take.
Which, yeah, I was going to say the other cars usually are at about 30-ish or somewhere in that range, I believe.
Yeah, so they're looking at about 7 laps, so it's not very long. And a lot of guys, they might even start thinking about pitting early if they're thinking about possibly trying to make a jump. But we'll see. It's now really the first 5 now are together.
You see Ed Kerstetter there in the third position. Let's ride with him up the straightaway. Up the 5th gear, and A lot of downforce in this car. I noticed not as fast as I thought they would be going down this straightaway. I thought we'd see speeds of 200 mile an hour. That gear must be very tall and 6. I noticed they're getting up close to 200, but not exactly over. As we look right here, well, I doubt he's going 130.
You're not going to get right. You'll get he punts that cone. You'll get a little bit closer to 200 on the. He'll get a little bit closer to 200 with the push to pass. Interesting thing about these particular straightaways, and these are, if you want to call them city, county, town roads.
Right.
And they are crowned in the middle. And if you ride your car in the middle, you are actually slower in the middle of the road instead of just what I like to call picking a lane. That's what I come out with the keys to the race. Pick a lane, because if you ride the center line, you're riding that crown, and that disrupts the flow of air underneath your car to the point where you are not running at the same speed as somebody who's on one side of the road or the other.
You learn something new every day. I had no clue of that. I think Alex Van de Sant had an issue a few minutes ago. He is still up here in 6th position, but went off track. It looks like it was off for a very short second. As you see Kerstetter go through Indianapolis here, this left-hander. And then up here to the first gear right-hander.
Arnage.
Thank you. I'm not good at naming corners, so forgive me. Unless your name's Eau Rouge and Redallion, I don't know your names real well.
Yeah, I think Van de Sant just wants to keep Vinci in sight. Vinci, I think, ideally wants to keep Van de Sant behind him, but just drive a very safe race at this point.
Yeah, when you're the point leader in this race, and again, the points are different. This isn't like NASCAR, you get 1 point per position type of thing. I mean, there's a separation between first and second. So if you're Caleb, I think you just got to keep yourself under control, keep track of who you're around. You got Cohen Evans right there in front of you. You got Alex Van de Sant right there behind you. Keep those guys in sight, because those are the 3 guys you're racing tonight, or 2 guys that you're racing tonight. You keep them in your sight, you're likely going home the champion.
Whoa! Isaac pops one of the curves big time.
And that's going to cost him the lead.
And it gives O'Connor a chance to get a cut. That is absolutely gives him the inside coming into the Dunlop curves.
Shades of the Champions Curve over in Montreal with Marcus Ambrose in a NASCAR race one year. He popped the curve and lost that race on the final corner. Right there, you see O'Connor gets loose. Morris looking, and he's going to go to the high side here through the technical. Oh, O'Connor gets loose. They're just fighting each other here.
Whoa, I loose again.
And Kerstetter's like, please, guys, just move out of my way. Can I go through? Let's see if we get any push to pass here.
And of course, Chris Lewis, the team owner, is probably reciting Team 1, Rule 1 of being teammates. Don't be your teammate. Followed by Rule 2 of being a teammate. Please refer to Rule 1.
Yes. Yes, that reminds me of one of my favorite radio slogans from a guy I used to work with who...
what a cut down!
Right?
Wow!
Nice move by Isaac there to get the lead back. Let's see if Eric can return the favor. He's going to have the push to pass here back and the draft. Isaac's going to snake him here, and you're going to get the long view here all the way up the highway. Let's watch here. And he pops back out. Actually, it was more Isaac trying to protect that low line. And he does go into the second corner here. Up there goes that cone again.
They punt that cone too, yeah.
That cone's taking a beating. Who put that cone there? And and Isaac spins!
Oh, he spins coming out!
Isaac Morris has gone. Look out, Cohen. Look, I'm sure the yellow flag's out there waving, but Isaac Morris goes for a ride. Let's go back.
He just came out hot. He just came out hot.
Let's see. He gets into the corner, takes out. Actually, it was O'Connor took the curve with him. Actually, you know what? He's on that curve on the left side. Do you think that did anything? See if I can get a better view of this curve. But he's on the green curve there. Did he have too much of it?
It's possible. I mean, it's as they tell you, you always get more adhesion when you're on the tarmac versus something that's painted on the tarmac, and it's possible that that could have happened.
Adhesion?
It's possible. Yes, that's the amount something sticks to something.
All right. I mean, I've heard the word before, but I'd never heard it in the term used, like, in a racetrack.
Oh, okay.
I've heard, like, yeah. for like the tire to have adhesion with the track? I don't know. I went to school in Florida. My excuse for everything is they go through the Porsche curves. Look at the speed through these cars. You see them slow up there because you got to set yourself up. And this is one thing, it takes me about 23 hours in the 24 hours of Le Mans race to figure out, is how to get around that last left-hander before you, when you come out of the Porsche curves. And it's the fact I have to tell myself, Chris, you got to slow down in the right-hander to get the left-hander right.
Right.
But now Eric O'Connor leads, so we got 2 rookies at Le Mans up front. And then we got Season 2 champion Cohen Evans here in 3rd. Caleb Bensie's right there in an arm's reach. And Isaac Morris back up to 5th now with the actually, you know, it's funny, Nicholas Weatherby's watching down here in the on the stream, and Nick mentioned that changes the championship, and that actually changes the Second Chance Championship is what that does now.
Yes, it does. It does.
Not the main championship, but the Second Chance Championship, I believe, is more affected, I think, in this case.
Yeah, that is the more impact there because where is Van de Sant really hasn't all of a sudden the main championship has put a bigger gap between Bensie and Van de Sant.
Isaac's off the pace. Isaac had to let Van de Sant go by. A slowdown?
No, that is strategic. That is letting your teammate by.
Oh. Or is it?
And well, I have nothing against team orders. If you have a team and that's how you want to do it, that's fine. And strategically, that is the right call.
Well, this early in the race? You know what I mean? I can understand that maybe with 2 or 3 laps to go, but you still got 14 laps to go. Isaac can go catch Eric. He's only 15 seconds back or so. Would you let your teammate go this early knowing that you got a car that can win this thing?
It depends on what the team wants to do. If the team says, hey, you had your shot, you spun out, we don't think you're going to be able to make up that ground, whatever, it's now time to put our attention onto our 1A.
Yeah, Isaac's poking out
driver.
Here. So I don't.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah,
it's a team call, but I'm sure that he definitely doesn't. I can tell you what for sure. Isaac does not want to do anything detrimental to his teammates' championship chances. Let's put it that way.
Let me ask this question. Some might call this tandeming, NASCAR term again, or you can even go with the term Mario Karting when you think about the newer Mario Kart that came out a couple years ago. Remember when you had to kind of pair up with another car and slingshot around them to keep going fast? Do you think this is one of those scenarios?
It's possible, and it's I think something that's kind of you did a little bit at the California race in the Velocity Online Racing League, where I call it leapfrogging.
Oh yes.
Where you're leapfrogging, yeah. So if you're leapfrogging is what I kind of call it, where one straight you lead, then the person behind you passes and you don't really fight for him, and then you get behind him and you get their draft, and then you pass them coming into the next turn and vice versa, and you kind of step each other type that you leapfrog each other, and that is one way to move your way up in the traffic. Yes.
Well, the problem with that is for me in that race, I leapfrogged the wall, and the wall didn't want to leap back, but it happens.
The wall is notoriously a prima donna and does not like to work with others.
Hey, look at this fight back here for the 9th position. Jim Herrick lets the 20 car of Adam Plunkett through in Indianapolis. Lets him go on the high line and go by. And now he's got Dakota DeMed there behind him, but Thomas Gold also. And he goes wide. Plunkett does. Yes, Ruthless Samurai said it best. Shake and bake. First you got to shake and then bake.
So O'Connor, our leader, he qualified at 150.622 on this 8-mile course. His last lap, his best lap, he's not actually purple. Kerstetter is. Kerstetter's at 149.677, so he's not far off his qualifying speed at all.
When you said 149 for a second, I'm like, wait, 149 in minutes? That's like ludicrous speed. As you see Plunkett go, I thought he was going to make the move. He's coming to pit road. He is making the move to the pits. And you're going to hear some Halloween-sounding noise here in a second. You might hear it. No, you didn't hear it there, but there's a sounder Lamar is famous for.
Miles per hour.
Yeah. And of course, his pit stall is blocked by the Michelin Man. Really, dude? Anyways. But there's a sounder at Le Mans that pretty much alerts people, hey, there's somebody on pit road. And when I was listening to it during practice, I'm like, it sounds like a Halloween song. I don't mind a little bit of glitching going on here. I apologize for the choppiness. I'm not sure what the deal is here, but unfortunately that is happening right now. I'm actually investigating it as we go here because everything is set up. Oh, well, that could be helping. You're not sure why the cutting already, or the choppiness is happening all of a sudden here, but we've lost Caleb for a second, and, or not Caleb, but Gary. So work with me here for a second. We'll get him back on here. Kind of irritates me, unfortunately, but not sure what the deal is.
Oh, the pit road alert.
Oh, that might be helping things here. Let's get that off my screen. Forgive me here as I work through the issues here real quickly as we try to get Gary back and the stream fixed here.
I hear you.
All right, Gary's back, which is good. And there's some things all of a sudden that just started creating issues here. I'm not sure what is going on here, but we're getting it fixed real quickly. All right,
and the leader is pitting. Both the leaders are pitting.
Yep, welcome back from our brief commercial here as O'Connor and Kerstead are coming to pit road here. Oh, there's that sounder. What's that thing? It sounds like Halloween. Where's Jason at? Again, apologize for the technical issues there for a second. As Nicholas Weatherby joins us back here. Nick, your thoughts on the race so far, man? What are you enjoying so far about this?
I'm enjoying quite a lot of this.
A lot of drafting.
All the leaders
and all that
are
stuff,
in.
right?
All the leaders are in. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. All the leaders are in. All top 6 are all on pit road right now.
Somebody locked it up going to their pit stall. Yep. So
everyone's pitting now. This is everyone's pitting now.
And everybody off pit road. It's like a mandatory pit stop or something here.
Eric. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That means the fuel must not be that sufficient then.
Yeah, 6 laps. That's it. So I tell you what, that's going to be interesting because 6 times 3 is third grade math, guys.
Well, it's right at 18, but
exactly. Hey. So
I didn't pass math, man.
7 times 3 is 28, right? Or 13. 7 times 13 is 28. Whatever that bit's called. But so Nick, obviously the racing here in the NRW photography Indy at Le Mans has been fantastic. You see the draft playing a big role. We saw Isaac make a mistake. Unfortunately, he's worked his way up here to 4th now. He's got by Caleb Bensey for position. But the racing out here with the draft, I mean, talk about what you're seeing. I know obviously it's been a lot of fun, but have you learned anything that's like, man, let's do this next year too?
I would love to see the race happen next year as like a finale because it is proven to be pretty damn entertaining, and I have learned that you really got to use your push to pass really, really like good because if you use it wrong, you screw yourself.
Right.
So
as you see, I'm sorry to cut you off. I see Caleb Bensey as they're going to go 3 wide up the road here. Literally, Bensey goes by Alex Van de Sant. Isaac goes by Caleb. They're playing Caterpillar here. As I thought Alex was going to make a move and go by them both here. And it's like you're last at the start of the straightaway. You're going to be first, and if you're first, you're going to be a whole bunch of games going on.
Yeah, that's the one thing I love about LeMans is the long straightaways where you can get awesome 3-wide racing. Oh, look at that! He's going wide. Oh, he's trying.
Are you watching on the stream? If so, you're like a minute behind. Just FYI.
Well, I can tell you right now that from a championship leader's point of view, at this point where you're now a third of the way into the final race of the season as a points leader, I don't want to go 3 wide with anybody. And I'm sure he saw that. And he's like, all right, you go right ahead.
Now, is this one of those deals where Alex is maybe purposely wanting to be the last car in line so he can save fuel?
It could, and I will say Alex is a master when it comes to saving tires and fuel. I've seen him do them many times. He works miracles, and he possibly could be riding behind. He maybe mapped it to fuel 3 or fuel 4 or engine map 4, engine map 5, and it's just sitting there in the slipstream making mileage. All you need is just enough to get one more lap on everyone at this point.
So let's talk next season real quick, Nick. I know you said in chat here, I saw you mentioned something. You got some stuff you want to discuss for next season. What do we got look forward to for Mr. Weatherby next year?
Well, for one thing, the IndyCar racing is going to change completely with the new tire model and the new damage model.
Yep, I did see that.
So that means contact is going to be very detrimental. The new tire model we're going to see, we're hoping that it's better than what we're running on right now. And the best thing is we're having tire compounds, so everyone will have a different, strategy. Like someone could go for a short run to be fastest on the soft tires, and then they could put on the medium tires and go for the long run. While someone can start off with the hard tires and then go on for the long run, longer than the ones with the soft tire. There's a whole bunch of strategy that's going to be going in next season, which I'm excited to see.
Now, let me ask this question to you real quickly. So, you mentioned 3 different tire sets. Is that what they're bringing to IndyCar? Because I know in real IndyCar, it's red and black.
So, it could be just 2 sets. I know in F1 they have 3 sets.
Right.
The hards, the softs, and the mediums. But I believe they are doing only 2 sets, like you said, yes.
Okay, because I was going to say, Steve Matchett used to explain it very well. Here's the soft tire, here's something. It's just my terrible accent. But, Matchett always explained it well in the F1 races, which tire we were using. Look at that, I ran him off with that terrible accent. Anyways, 11 laps to go already, so that's lap, 7 in the books out of the 18.
For purple. Rain as well.
Purple's for rain.
I think we lost you guys there for a split second again. Still trying to.
That's fine.
Yeah, figure.
So we have Van DeSantis put the move on Bensi, so he's now ahead of him, and that only really gets him 1 point advantage in the championship. So now the point championship. Got to look this up real quick. It's now only 3 points to the advantage of Bensi.
So as you said, 3 points. Oh, I'm sorry.
3 points. Yeah. So going into this race, Bensi had a 4-point advantage in the championship. With Van DeSantis ahead of him, that's 1 point difference. So now we're 3 points difference in the championship. So Bensi you really need to keep him in sight. And
with the draft here, that's usually pretty easy to do. Especially Bensi's been pretty much in the draft of all these cars throughout the race. He's been able to keep like Cohen Evans and those guys in sight. Obviously, depending on what the pit stops and things like that, what happens with all that. But Cohen is pulled away. He's got about 5 seconds on Isaac Morris right now. And then it's about 2 down to Alex and then about 8/10 to Bensi. So Isaac is really starting to stretch this out. And I see Gavin mentioning about Marion McDaniel. Yes, Marion McDaniels is racing in this race tonight. Last time I said he was racing in a race, he threw a hot dog at me and yelled at me. I'm kidding about the hot dog part. But he yelled at me and said, "Why would I be out here racing?" I'm like, "I don't know. You were out there running laps in practice." Well, here's the proof on the screen. Marion McDaniels is racing, so I can say this.
Huh. Hey, he's actually 13th. He's actually doing pretty good.
He's doing better than I would. As the leader, by the way, a new leader, Ed Kerstetter, is going to the point as he has passed Eric O'Connor. This happened just a few seconds ago. Let's go back to the pass. and happened up one of the straightaways here. Just saved some fuel probably in the draft. And I think this is the final straightaway right before to get to Indianapolis. He does make the pass there, and that could be easily O'Connor saying, let me save some fuel a little bit and get back here behind him. But he makes that pass and takes over the lead of this race. And then also Thomas Gold had some issues just a couple seconds after this. He is heading down towards the same section of the track here to the right-hander to Indianapolis. And he gooses. He nails the Armco left side first.
Wow.
Ouch.
All right. That'll grind that off. So interesting. I know that the LMC gear and the TI teams share a very loose association. We could look again. You could see another possibly. I don't know if they'll ever do this, but it could be very simple that they let Kerstetter go and O'Connor, Evans, Morris all come back to Van de Sant and allow Van de Sant to pass. And if they allow that to happen, then that actually gets Van de Sant a lot closer to Vinci in the championship. So I don't know if there could be nefarious stuff going on later or not. Team orders is a part of racing. I enjoy it. A lot of people don't. But we'll see if any of these associations that have panned out over the season pay off today.
The only racing that I believe you should see team orders in is WEC and IMSA, because they're a team, not a car and one driver. It's not like 1911 when Ray Haroon and his crew chief risked their lives in the back of a car.
Oh, he only had one in the car. He had the rearview mirror, remember?
That was his crew chief.
Same dude.
Do I need to go on YouTube and show you what happened to some of those crew chiefs and some of those wrecks?
No. I know the lifespan of the crew chiefs or the riding mechanics was a fairly short one.
It was not good. But needless to say, this group is coming back together, as you did say, Gary. You look at Isaac Morris, he has chopped down Cohen's lead to 2.5 seconds, and then Alex is about 2 seconds back, and then you got Caleb. All these guys on this same straightaway here. As a pass for the lead, here comes O'Connor down into the right-hander. Arnage,
yeah,
as
right
you call
there
it.
at Arnage. Yep, Arnage right there, right next to the house of Sebastian Bourdais. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll just say it is.
I know nothing. As
Look, he's going at.
Into the Porsche curves. Side by side of the Porsche curves. Wow. Coming into the Corvette curves.
They are hauling tail through here. Then you got
you can come through here pretty quick. You got to kind of feather it right here. Otherwise, you go all four over that curb, and it was real close, and then you have to slow down penalty.
So should be seeing, we got to go another, 4 laps before we get to the final round of pit stops. Cody Claiborne's on pit road. He's unfortunately, he's actually still in the lead lap, but on pit road, not sure if that's a scheduled stop. He had a incident earlier in the race. But you see O'Connor, Kostetter, Cohen, Evans right now, your top 3.
Kostetter still purple with the 322.506. Evans with his fastest lap of the race at 324.114, and Morris right behind him with a 322.868. They're both fastest laps of the race right there on that lap.
Both nailing him.
I've and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I have called Isaac. I've done it before. I just try to speak as honest as possible when I say these kind of things, and I mean it with respect. I still say Isaac Morris reminds me so much of Paul Tracy, because look at this race. He's leading the race, and whoops, he spins it out in the middle of the corner leading, but yet he's blazing fast.
LeMans is so big that even if you are blazing fast, it'll take at least 2 laps to catch cars. It's so big. That's why LMP racing and World Endurance Championship, the passing is not so often because the track is so big. And the LMPs have hybrid horsepower. They have hybrid boost. They have electric power to rocket them like 200 miles per hour.
Those cars are just ridiculous. I'm just going to put it like that.
Yes.
You almost got to go to school at NASA to be able to drive one of those cars.
I'll tell you what, just about everybody on that lap went green for their fastest lap of the race. So everyone is super light. And I'll tell you that O'Connor and Kirsten are knocking over cones like it's going out of style.
They're going to run out of cones before.
There's another one, yep.
Yeah, let's go back to third here. Isaac Morris is on the back of Cohen Evans here as they come up the straightaway here down towards the right-hander here into the hairpin corner. This is a sharp corner, almost first gear, but second gear corner right there. Again, forgive me for not knowing names of corners.
Be Mills Lane.
Let's get it on.
Pretty close, yeah.
Oh.
Moles Lane. I think it's Moles Lane, yeah. Got it. It's the American accent. We're saying it right. We're saying it right. We just have an accent.
So Nick Weatherby joining us up here in the booth here is the sponsor of the race with NRW Photography. He's also a driver in the series as Alex puts 2 over in the kitty litter. Or not Alex, I did it again. Isaac puts 2 in the kitty litter. Isaac, tomato. Anyways, but real quickly, Nick, let's talk again about your photography company here because we're about to do something you have done all season long. You have sponsored the ride-along lap, and talk about the company, and just mention again for people who want to get a hold of you. How can they do so?
Well, it's very easy. Just go on Facebook and type in Weatherby Photography. There you can just send me a quick message, and I will respond as soon as I can. I'm honestly, it just started out as something I wanted to do during this pandemic, and it's actually turned into something I want to do as a profession. I'm actually starting to do photography in real life, and I've actually gotten quite good at it. But I only charge $1 per photo, very cheap. I can negotiate. I can do 4K resolution shots for you. I can do it all pretty much.
There you go. So make sure you check him out. He's on Facebook. He's also now on Instagram. Check him out. And we're going to quiet up here for a second, and we're going to ride with Isaac Morris, the 3:21.83 purple lap he just ran. And we're going to let you enjoy a 3-minute lap with Isaac Morris around Le Mans, brought to you by NRW Photography. And, of course, this ride-along segment brought to you by NRW Photography. If you're looking for high-resolution screenshots of your paints, if you want sweet graphics to make your car pop, stop by NRW Photography's Facebook page at Weatherby Photography. You can also look up NRW Racing Photos on Instagram. Mention LMCgear.com and IndyCar's broadcast. You'll get 20% off your next purchase. Also mention the deep fakes, and when he says deep fakes, he doesn't mean like the deep pump fakes in a football game. He means deep fake photos. So make sure you check that out. But Nick's been up here watching the race here, and guys, when we were watching that view of Isaac, there were some things that I kind of took out of that. Like, one, first gear there in that first chicane. Two, I noticed that he was pretty much wide open through the Porsche curves.
And that's because, you want to know why? That's the downforce that these things got.
I mean, I know Marion, I believe, does the setups in these cars, and he did an amazing job because I'm sure that car is not easy to drive through that section.
No, I think he went for a higher downforce package for this track because of how big the turns are and how high speed they are. So I think he did excellent with this setup.
Now, so what he did basically was he took away the straightaway speed to make the corners grip better.
Technically, yes. The only way you could really get enough speed is when you draft and
right.
use your push to pass.
Because
you get that most out of your straightaway speed.
We got a battle up here. Caleb Benzie and Alex Van de Sant. This is for 5th. And this is the championship fight, and the leaders are coming to pit road right at the number. They might have to save a little bit here. Because we're coming to 6 to go.
I wonder who's going to make the pass and not go to pit road this time.
They're all coming to pit road.
They're all coming? All right.
As you hear the Halloween sounder going off.
Man. If they're all going to pit road, that's going to be really interesting.
Van de Sant.
Yeah, they're all.
Caleb.
I mean, the top 6, 7 cars. I mean,
here comes Forsyth. Now Forsyth's not there yet.
How? Okay, let me ask this because you got the straightaways. So I'm going to ask the question here, Nick. You can obviously chime in here too. How do you save 8 miles of fuel in one lap, or in a couple laps?
Pitting.
Oh, geez.
Houston pitting.
Yeah, I think the best way you can truly save fuel is to stay out of a draft, and what Gary said. Because when you're in a draft, you go faster. So the faster you go, the more fuel you lose.
The thing is, though, can you save a lap of fuel in the amount of laps that you're running here? Because it's 8 miles. You're on straightaway probably what, 5-6 miles up the course. So it's
pitting. Yeah. McDaniel's pitting.
So it's like, how do you do that?
I don't know. I do know there are some fuel saving.
Well, you're mid pack. You could probably do a lot of coasting if you want to mid pack.
The Scott Dixon move. Okay.
And you're going to have to sacrifice. Look, this lap is going to be a crap lap because this is the lap that I'm using to be my save money lap. And if they wanted to do a lot of coasting and then be able to make one more lap on everybody, that's what they're going to have to do. It's not about the draft because this field's too spread out right now. It's not about push to pass. It's not about it's probably more about the maybe short shifting. Stuff like that, right. Being light on the pedal, but it's going to be a lot of coasting. You could probably snake out an extra lap if you really, really worked on it. I don't know. Now, 8 miles is a long way. I don't know how they could do it, but, people like Scotty D, people like Alex Van de Sant, people like that are Rossi, that are really good at saving gas, they might be able to pull something like that off.
As you see, Caleb Benzie did come out right behind Alex Van de Sant, so they are right neck and neck with each other, about a second apart. One simple mistake by one of these two drivers could be it. As you know, Alex Van de Sant last season finished second in the championship. He went on that hot streak at the end of the season and just fell short of Cohen. And then you got Caleb Benzie, who has never been in this spot before. I mean, he has been Mr. Consistency on the season. Won Indianapolis, his only win. And yet here he is on the doorstep of a championship, and this is with much respect to the other IndyCar leagues in iRacing, but one of the biggest IndyCar leagues, in my opinion, on this service.
Caleb's no slouch. I mean, he's the defending champion of the Reddit lead as well. So he's wearing a number 1 badge there. The guy knows what it takes to get the number 1 badge done. All he needs to do is, maybe brake a little bit earlier, be a little bit conservative here and there, keep Alex in your front window, and you're good to go.
But here's the thing. How do you do that without hurting your rhythm? Because they say sometimes as Caleb catches a lap car at the wrong spot.
And he pulls over. That was real nice of him.
Right, but see,
Cody.
Caleb lost the momentum.
Oh, Cody's going to live a little draft there. Okay.
But how do you do? And Caleb, I think that's either a thank you swerve or a dude that didn't help me swerve. And it might have been both. But when you don't, you have a certain gear that you're driving in as a driver. So when you back off, say go 85%, that can hurt your rhythm because you're so used to going 100%.
Well, that means you just have to be a more versatile driver, being able to change your timing.
That you know what I mean? That just seems like the mistake, though, is more. It becomes more possible, I guess, if that's a better. I don't know if that's a good English way of putting it, but.
Well, sure, but mistakes can happen at 100%. See what happened to Isaac on lap 3 or 4. It can happen to anybody. So, make sure you feel it out, keep the car underneath you, and keep it pointed straight ahead. And he's letting. Alex is slowly pulling away, but he's not letting Alex get out of his sight. Right there, I would say that he's probably doing all he needs to do right there. I couldn't ask for anything more if I was his team owner.
So Eric O'Connor leads. Hello, Ralph Fasano. Thank you for joining us tonight. Ralph, a racer over in USRC, joining us on the stream tonight. Eric O'Connor leads, though. He has led most of this race. Ed Kerstetter's led a couple laps. He's there in second. And, of course, Isaac Morris, the guy who was, him and Eric O'Connor were playing, how would we put it? You lead. No, you lead. No, you lead. And,
Yep.
There you go, leapfrog. We'll go with that. But he runs third. Of course, Cohen in fourth. And then the 3-point leaders are right here, fourth, fifth, and sixth. As Caleb has done what he has to do, just keep everybody in sight. And he should, and I'm not going to say he's going to be the champion here if he crosses the line where he is. I mean, it's going to come down to it. It's going to be really tight.
Yeah, it looks like everybody from 12th place back have stopped at lap 12.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Morera stopped at lap. Now, Dan Morera is going to be a lap short because he been at lap 11, so he's not going to make it to lap 18 unless somehow he goes fuel save like major. I don't know. I mean, most of these cars are out there in clean air now too.
Yeah, which is good for fuel saving, but still, this track is so massive. And that's the thing about Le Mans. It's an easy track to get around in some places, but it is the hardest when it comes to being safe as far as fuel goes.
As we ride with Caleb Betsy here, just kind of listening to his car and watching him shift. I think some of these first gear corners, if you stay second gear, will save you a little bit of fuel because you're not.
Yeah, they will.
You're not coming out higher. Yeah, so I think that would help. Short shifting, as you mentioned. So let's see as he goes down to Indianapolis here. Right down to first gear. So he's not maxi. He's not saving at all. He's going.
Yeah, honestly, I don't expect him to be saving at all.
So yeah, they must be able to go to the finish.
Yeah. I think those that need to worry about safety. Damn.
I mean, I might be I might be making a big deal out of nothing.
You never know.
I know, right? Mary McDaniel comes per. Let's listen to Cody go through the curves. Wide open all the way to the right-hander there. And then he goes down to fourth gear. And fourth gear the whole way. Wow.
Well, we got 4 to go.
Wow, and actually, another thing here, Gary. He went second gear into the first chicane, first gear to the second chicane.
It's breaking even then, it looks like.
But I was thinking, because I know when I usually drive the last time I was on Le Mans, last time I was on Le Mans, me and Jim Herrick and Alex, and we ran a Le Mans, we ran I'm sorry. Driveline Sim Sport, Marion and us, we ran a race with the Dallara 218, and I remember running those corners in like third and second gear. I never went first gear in any of these corners.
Oh, and leaders come through the second chicane there with, or the first chicane there, excuse me, with one of the driveline cars.
I think it was Marion.
In the wrong direction. Yeah, pointed in the wrong direction.
Marion McDaniel has played dipsy-doo spinaroo over in the first chicane. Yeah, speaking of Marion, we actually have our own race. Gary, I think you're a part of it too, coming up this weekend. We're going to run a 6-hour oval endurance race.
Yeah.
Finally, you guys are putting me in a race I can actually do.
An Indianapolis Enduro race where it's going to be a multi-class NASCAR race or stock car race where it will feature ARCA cars, NASCAR trucks, and NASCAR Cup cars, all on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval for 6 hours for charity.
I'm good with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually donated money this past weekend. But finally an endurance race I can do. Now, I'm not saying I can't do any of these. I enjoy doing them, but that's one that I can actually be like, all right, this is how you do this, and actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll be fielding one of the trucks probably on the opening stint because I have another league race, ironically, at the Indianapolis Road Course later that evening. So I'll be splitting time doing a short race on a road course and a long race or an endurance race on an oval. I'll kind of mix things up a little bit.
Don't accidentally go driving the road course during the enduro.
No, don't do it the other way around, yeah.
Just want to say something. We definitely need to keep an eye on Morris because he is definitely closing in. He's only 9 seconds back. Actually, 8 seconds probably.
Yeah, it's 9.1 I got on my screen here. It's slowly going down. So, yeah, he's one that we're going to have to keep an eye on here because that time is coming down slowly. Now, he's going to have to make up about 2.5 seconds a lap to have a chance to win this thing. But, I mean, on an 8-mile course, that's possible.
Yeah, 4 laps is like a long time on LeMans.
So for those of you who might be watching this at home and like what you see, be sure to check out the LMC Gear TI Indy or TI LMC Gear Indy Racing League, iRacing Indy Racing League league on iRacing. Just search them up, and they have a Discord server and everything. If you like what you see, you can join next year's schedule, which I believe will be announced Friday. But it's a little bit of an off season. But if you're looking for something else to do between now and then, check out the Velocity Online Racing League. We'll be having a bit of a Christmas Cup in the very old Legacy Dallaras, the old school Dallaras, for over the Christmas break and everything. So if you're looking for something to do there too and try some IndyCars out, getting some high pack races here, and join us over the Christmas break.
Yeah, a lot of the guys will be here racing there, and it's a great league. And matter of fact, all these leagues are great, but we appreciate, of course, Chris Lewis and the guys here, Jim Herrick, LMCgear.com, for being a part of the series and letting us broadcast now. This will be the completion of our second series this season. The first one that Gary and I got to do together. Most of them we got to do together. I know the beginning of the season went through a couple errors, but as we said, this season was going to be a fun one, and we were going to try to make it bigger and better, and we hope we were able to do that for the viewers this season. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the experience. As far as I know, I have not been fired yet, so we plan to be back for Season 4. And, looking forward to a lot more racing and a lot more fun and continuing to improve the broadcast as the cone goes flying again and again.
Poor corner workers have to run out there to put out the cone again.
But the season's produced some great racing throughout. I mean, a historic Indianapolis race with a 3-wide finish. Just so much drama, a really tight points championship that here in about 25 miles is going to be over with, and we'll crown a champion. But definitely a shout out to the viewers too who have watched us each and every week with the great racing here in the LMCgear.com iRacing IndyCar Series. I believe there's going to be some changes coming come 2021 as we get into the new season, but one thing that we plan not to change is to be right here with you Monday nights for IndyCar racing come January 2021 with, as we learned today, a new damage model, new 2 sets of tires now with the reds and the blacks coming on board. and just continued improvement in this car. So we're looking forward to it. And
I won't give anything away, but I'll give you this hint. Triple Crown. Now I'll just say nothing else. Triple Crown for next season.
I know what that means. That means we're going to see IndyCar running Belmont. We're going to see IndyCars running at Louisville, Kentucky at the Dirt. And oh wait, wrong crown. Sorry.
Just remember, guys. Long Beach is here.
Yes.
In a few days.
The actual full Long Beach.
Now. Yes.
Long Beach is here. Long Beach is here, but they haven't finished building the city yet.
Oh, I can't wait to see the FPS drops.
If I have to guess, Long Beach will probably appear on lots of schedules for next season. So if you're a Long Beach fan and you think you'd like to run that with us, I don't know for a fact, but I'm willing to say that probably Long Beach will be on the schedule. If it's available, a traditional IndyCar track like that, you betcha.
I would almost start the season there, would you not?
For a long time. I mean, that's kind of, if it wasn't there, it was Phoenix. That's where they kind of opened the traditional IndyCar season openings at. So yeah, absolutely. That's an opener at Long Beach. It belongs there.
Yeah, it'll prove who is ready to take over that next season.
I totally have an idea. I totally have a weird idea, and I'm going to throw it out there because I'm full of weird ideas. We should totally go get like the Lexus or something like that, bring it to Long Beach, and go grab every broadcaster streamer on iRacing, and let's do our own iRacing Toyota or whatever it's called showdown at Long Beach.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
Who's I know one of the kids from Saved by the Bell did that pretty good.
Zach Morris, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Yep.
Yeah, and from gosh, now the names are, because their names are not IndyCar drivers. I can't remember them. Fresh Prince from Bel Air.
Carlton. Alfonso Ribeiro.
Carlton.
Yep.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that did that real well. Of course, now Caitlin, but previous Bruce Jenner. He that's kind of where he broke his chops for racing on that particular circuit. So Paul Newman.
Oh, Isaac Morris is spun. Isaac Morris is spun over here in the Porsche Curbs, I believe. Oh nope, I'm sorry, he was in the chicane again.
That just ruins it for him, unfortunately.
Well, just 2 laps to go. Let's take it home.
Yeah, he didn't lose any position. He just lost time. In the end, I think that's going to prohibit him from doing the Morris Shuffle tonight, officially.
There's no Morris Shuffle tonight, no.
Now let's go back here to the championship race here at 2 to go. Is Jason Priestley, by the way, another one used to run that race, I believe.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of celebs cut their teeth on that course.
Hey, I appreciate all you guys there. Mike Bensey, I see here. Caleb's father watching, I believe, Mom Nyla. Forgive me if I said that wrong. They've been laughing the whole race. Are you laughing at my struggles of being a producer or laughing at us in the booth? Anyways, Alex Van de Sant leads by 5.5 seconds over Caleb, so he has stretched it out. Now, here's an interesting scenario that comes into play, and now we get to talk about team orders and stuff, Gary, because we're at that part of the race. You got Cohen Evans and Alex Van de Sant trying to pass Caleb in the points. So they're running 4th and 5th. I believe at this spot, Alex is the only one that could probably catch Caleb. So if you're Cohen, do you bite one for the team? Do you bite the bullet?
If the order comes down, yes.
If the order comes down, being the key word.
If the order comes down. Yeah. So, I mean, I've been on teams where I'm there in a position to help protect or do something like that. A lot of times the team orders are in place for about everything with about the exception of the last handful of laps. And if the handful of laps, if you're in contention to win, then all bets are off. But if you're not in contention to win and you're there to help a teammate, that's what you're there for. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's absolutely, if the order comes through, if someone told me to do it, I would absolutely pull over and let my teammate by. Absolutely.
Well, we have hit the final lap of the season here. Eric O'Connor on his way to his first career win. The Indiana driver coming into the first long straightaway here as he is probably already sitting there thinking, I cannot believe I'm going to do this. But if you start thinking that now, you don't want to mess this up either. So just keep focused as
sporting that Maverick helmet there. Top Gun helmet.
He's going to buzz the tower. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I guess that's what he can do. Instead of doing the shuffle, he can go buzz the tower at the end of this thing. Scoring tower is all his. Permission to fly by. Pattern's full.
As he goes through the second chicane here down the straightaway. Now, this used to be, back in the day, this was one long straightaway. And if you go look up YouTube, you'll see Mark Webber's horrifying looking crash. I forget what kind of car it is, but he was basically going up this straightaway, and at the time, this track was actually a lot more hillier. I guess would be another English term for me to learn. And his car took off for landing. We'll just call it like that.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty horrifying.
I mean, he survived, obviously, because he became a very good F1 driver and is back down in the WEC. I believe he's won a championship or two now or something. I don't really...
Yes, I think so.
So in the final straightaway, really, that Eric O'Connor's going to see. Kerstetter's still 6/10 back, or 6 seconds back, I should say. It looks like 6/10 by the view, but it's really 6 seconds back. I don't see really anybody close to anyone. The only battle that's close is actually back here for the 7th position. Craig Forsyth and Dakota DeMette are about 7/10 off of each other. That's the closest battle on the track really at all. Everybody else is about 4 or more seconds back as Indianapolis for the final time for O'Connor. What's it feel like to be, I mean, I've been a first-time winner in leagues and stuff, as a matter of fact, last night, but humble brag. I want to hear from you guys, though. What is it like to win your first career race?
Go ahead, Dick.
Well, you get adrenaline filled and you feel very hot to the face. You're just so filled with excitement because you're like, wow, I really just did that.
That makes sense to me, Gary.
I actually need to win one proper. I caused my own yellow to win my own race, so I can't really say. I did win an Indy fixed race a couple weeks ago. Here we come to the start-finish line for the winner here, but it is a nice feeling to hit that yard of bricks before everyone else. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and there you go. And Indiana's Eric O'Connor will win the NRW Photography Indy at Le Mans. Let me get it right. I just botched the finish. Nice job. Meanwhile, here comes the points leaders through the final set of chicanes. And Cohen Evans is going to come by in 4th. Isaac Morris runs purple on that lap, by the way. Show off. Alex Van de Sand's going to finish 5th. I say that jokingly. And if I'm seeing this right, I believe Caleb Bensey is going to cross the line here, and he should be the LMCgear.com iRacing IndyCar champion.
Yep, I believe he wins by a margin of 3. We'll have to figure that math out by someone who's a heck of a lot smarter than me. But, hey, 3 points, 100 points. It's all the same. Congrats, champ. You are the Le Champion.
We will. I won't crown him officially until it's over with, as everybody's cutting donuts over the Dunlap curve. But we believe he is the champion officially.
Yep. Unofficial, yep.
Unofficial. So we're going to call it like it is there. But Eric O'Connor, he is the one guaranteed winner of this race as he's over here destroying his car with Isaac. They've destroyed their cars over in the Dunlap curve. We're only seeing the top of their cars. As a matter of fact, I thought Isaac had high-sided it for a second there.
Vincey's doing donuts over in right before the straight, so I believe he's recognized himself as at least a champion as well.
Which will be, I believe, Race Versus first championship. Matt Houston-owned team. I'm sure he's going to be happy as an owner to finish in the 9th position. He just crossed the line and have Caleb Bensey celebrating. So let's go ahead and call it like it is. Caleb Bensey, Season 3, LMCgear.com iRacing IndyCar champion officially for the number 21, the Ohio driver. If you bring in, of course, the IndyCar history of the state of Ohio, Bobby Rahal, of course, the at least biggest name I know from Ohio. I'm sure Donald Davidson over here knows somebody from Ohio more than I do.
Oh, well, no, there's been many from Ohio, but Ray Hall is certainly the last from Ohio to win an IndyCar championship. So a pretty good history, and not to mention you do have the whole Ray Hall family, of course, and the extended Force family. That's part of that. So,
Yes.
hey, the racing family of Ohio just got a little bit bigger today, and a little bit larger, and a little bit deeper or longer resume.
I'm stopping real quickly here where Caleb has stopped because there are plenty of things in this shot that I have noticed all of a sudden. First off, somebody left a fire extinguisher laying over here next to the guardrail by himself. Just it's gone.
Just in case.
We've
Just in
got
case.
a photo of a figurine holding onto this 100% Panu sign, and it looks like somebody fabricated a face on there. I don't know if anybody else sees that but me. We have a brewery thing right there, and then we have a horse standing on its own up here. Just a couple things I noticed in that shot.
Give it to the creativity of the iRacing developers there.
Now, that would have been the perfect spot to put Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s face. Just throwing it out there, iRacing. But anyways, hey, before we talk to the drivers here, Nick, we appreciate you joining us. Again, throw it out there. If anybody wants to get a hold of you at Facebook or Instagram, how can they do so?
Easy, just type in Weatherby Photography on Facebook. You can always catch you on Instagram at NRW Racing Photos.
There you go. So make sure you go check out Nick Weatherby. Nick, we appreciate your time, and go enjoy your holidays, brother. And we'll talk next season, and maybe it'll be Long Beach Race 1. Who knows?
Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right, buddy.
See ya.
Nick Weatherby joining us as we get ready to talk to the drivers, and what we're going to do, we'll definitely talk to the winner first. We're going to get Caleb on last to talk to the champion. And we'll see who else we can get here. Maybe we'll get Alex on there for a word, finishing second in the championship. But let's get the man that celebrates his first career win out in Le Mans. And I'm pretty sure that when Eric was a young man, not saying you're old, but when you were younger, a kid, Eric, you probably said, yeah, I can't wait to win my first ever IndyCar race. It's going to be at Le Mans.
Yeah, I didn't see this one coming today, or really ever. But hey, it happened.
It did, and you did a great job. Kept it consistent. You and Isaac definitely seemed like you were playing a little bit of Mario Kart or leapfrog, as we like to call it. And Isaac made that mistake, and it seemed to open the door up for you. But it wasn't easy. You had to be spot on with the pit stops, and you were able to get some distance out there on Kerstetter. Talk about the race and the strategy to get that win.
Yeah, early on, I was kind of feeling out how the runs were to kind of give myself an idea of if there's a battle at the end, kind of have that knowledge in my head. But I was, after like the first couple back and forths there with Isaac, I decided like it's best to just sit back, save some fuel, take it easy. It's a decently long race. You look at 18 laps, but when they're 3.5 minute laps, that takes a bit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to just try and sit back, save some fuel, and maybe cut my stop times down a little and hope that at some point I'd be able to get lucky and break the draft that way. But that didn't quite play out, but I kind of got lucky there between Isaac and his mistake and Ed's mistake, because that he made a mistake somewhere there in the closing laps or before the final pit stop. And that really kind of made it to where, all right, I just got to hit my marks and do my job, and I should have this thing.
Let's talk a little bit about the final lap, because we were talking about this a little bit during your lap there. When you're on a half mile or a mile track, a 2 mile track, or even like a 3 mile road course, you're doing so much that you don't really think much maybe about the final lap. You're so focused on hitting your marks to get to the final lap. Here, you've got straightaways that are about a mile long. So you got plenty of time to kind of sit there. So how did you keep yourself focused? Because it's so easy to lose focus for a second and just throw it all out the window.
Yeah, I won't lie. It definitely was a lot more of a, oh man, coming up on the last lap, I really need to put it together. I got lucky. I think coming to the final lap, Ed made another little mistake that really kind of took the pressure off. But prior to that, I felt like he was still really close to where one little mistake, because one little mistake adds up to being a ton around here, and he would have been right back in the draft, and it would have been a battle, I felt. So it was definitely on my mind, and yeah, it's just try to focus on hitting your mark still and not making that mistake.
Gary, got any questions for him?
You've only joined us kind of at the tail end of this season. We're going to see you more next year in the part of the TI team?
Yeah, I think that's the
Next
plan.
season? Good,
Yeah,
good,
I
good.
think that's the plan.
Good. Looking forward to it.
And that's awesome, man. Congratulations, Eric. Send shout-outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, gonna give a big shout out to Grublets on Ice for being the sponsor on the car. Chris Lewis for giving me the ride here at TI Racing. You know, it's cool to be here, cool to be a part of the team, and seems like a fun league so far from the couple races I did. Fortunately, Road Atlanta last week was cut short for me due to a mistake of my own, but made up for this week.
Well, Eric, congratulations. You bring Indiana a victory, and I know we're all proud of you. And, of course, Indiana's had a lot of good wins this year. I know it's not often that the college football team is any good. I know that from being up there. But they've done good this year. Of course, you bring them home a win tonight for this race at Le Mans and so much more. But, Eric, we appreciate your time, and congrats on your win, bud.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Eric O'Connor, the winner of tonight's NRW photography Indy at Le Mans race. I got it right this time. Shout
Dakota told.
Let me move the right person to the right channel. There we go. I hit the button and it moved me down, and that was good. Anyways, nice job on that part. And let's bring up Ed Kerstetter here, the second place runner in tonight's race, and just trying to organize the interview order here as Ed joins us up here in the booth. Ed, second place run for you. Eric kind of mentioned a couple of mistakes he might have noticed you had made. We didn't catch it on camera as we were trying to work our way through and just talk about people and stuff like that. But none to say, a second place run here at a track that you don't see IndyCar racing at. That's something to be proud of for someone like you who, you brought your team on late in the season and you've done nothing but run top three almost all season long and bringing home consistent finishes.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Made a mistake there. I don't know the corner numbers.
I don't either.
I think 2 and 3, the chicane after the front stretch, after the start finish.
Dunlap curve.
Grabbed a little. Oh, there you go. Thanks. Actually, I have a track map. I probably should have looked at that. Grabbed a little too much curb there and got a black flag slowdown, and then pit tried to get it back with as much push to pass as I can. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get within that 2 seconds. I kind of hung around 2.5 and 3, and Eric just didn't make a mistake, and I couldn't catch him. And then trying to catch him, I made another one, which shot me further back. But it was a good run. A little disappointing. Would have loved to finish the season with a win, but just motivation for next season, I think.
Did it shock you to see all the cars pitting at one time, or was that more because the size of the track, there really wasn't much you could do to separate laps on when you came to pit road?
Yeah, I mean, it might have been possible to save that little bit you needed to make it one more lap, but you would have been going super slow.
Right.
So the strategy, just go all out and pit when everybody else does. So otherwise, you're just running heavier fuel for a longer period.
Gary, you got anything for Ed?
Will we see more of you next season?
I hope so. Hope to get on the top step. Put some work in over the off season. But congrats to Eric on his first win, and Isaac for that recovery. I guess he got on the curbs a little much and looped it. But I think he was 12 seconds back at one point, and he made it all the way. Much closer than that, and then congrats to Caleb. I think it was Caleb, right, with the championship.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm coming in early or late.
Yep.
So congrats to him. And I know there was like 3 guys fighting at the end there. So congratulations. And I just want to say thanks to the league and thanks to the sponsors. I think is what NRW Photography, right?
Yes.
Was sponsoring this one. So thanks to everybody, and Yeah, we'll see. We'll see next season what we can do.
The picture perfect interview right there. Nailed the sponsor and everything.
Check.
Well, Gary, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there right now. I think you're looking at one of the favorites for next season's championship right here. This guy Ed Burke came in with about, 4 or 5 races to go, something like that. And he had one issue in his debut race where he was running, I think, second when it happened, second or third. Otherwise, top 3 finishes every race up to the finish. So, and that's how you win championships in this series. So, I think we're about to point that out, Ed. So, no pressure on you next season, but best of luck, bud.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And I just want to say thanks for my sister and her husband watching. And the real MVP of this race, I think, was the guys who had to run out and grab the cones that Eric kept hitting going into the chicane, so I didn't have a braking point. No. Because every time I came back, they were there. So congrats to those guys.
Absolutely.
They did an awesome job.
He officially has pulled a Kevin Durant on the cone guys. Nice job, Ed, as he finishes second in the race.
What did I tell you? Yes.
That's awesome. Well, it's funny.
Poor quarter workers.
Ever since Kevin Durant said the real MVP is, I forget what the quote was exactly. I think it's his mom or something like that. And after he won the MVP award in basketball a couple years ago, it's just that's the big thing now. You are the real MVP. So, all right. So let's go get. Is Isaac in here? Isaac is actually in here. So let's talk to him real quickly. The third place finisher. There's so many people who want to talk to us tonight. When it's all over with, if I can get him up here into the broadcast room, is Isaac Morris joins us. Isaac, your pole streak ended tonight, unfortunately. Your win streak ends, unfortunately, tonight. However, I believe you are the second chance champion, brought to you by Raceverse, and of course the chili mix. That name just Happy Trails Chili Mix. I'm like. Got 2 names in my head there, but still, Isaac, congratulations on that, I believe. I know it's unofficial until somebody tells me, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I think you got it. So, but nonetheless, third place run for you tonight. Talk about the racing out there and talk about the pretty much 2 mistakes you made.
Well, the first mistake was just one of the biggest rookie errors I could have made. Just took too much curb. Car caught the curb. The floor caught the curb, and just put the rear end in a really sticky situation. And then next thing I knew, I was facing the wrong way. And then the car stalled as well. So, and I didn't even know how that happened. So, I was trying to get it back into gear, and when I turned the engine back on, it was in freaking reverse. So I was like, "What's gone on here?" And then the second mistake, I just took too much speed into the chicane again. It was the same spot, but just the entry instead of the exit. And, again, just a rookie mistake, just missed my braking marker by 10 meters or so. And next thing I knew, the car was spinning, and I was fighting to try and get control of it.
So let's talk about the season here a little bit. Obviously, you missed the first few races. You come in, you throw 5 straight poles together to end the season, and you missed the 6th literally by, on an 8-mile course, barely anything. But still, I think a successful return for you, considering you had to miss the first few races. Talk about that for a second, but then talk about how that's going to lead into the season number 4, because obviously, when you go back to season 2, you were pretty much on it for most of the season, and then a couple issues happened. Talk about what you've maybe learned for those 2 seasons that you can bring season 4 to be Isaac Morris' season.
Well, to put it in the easiest way possible is that I'm going to take everything that I've learned from the last 2 seasons, and even season 1 when I did my first race there, and I'm just going to apply everything that I've learned into season 4. And practice harder, and not to be too complacent about things, because the strength of the field's increasing. I've got a strong teammate now, and with me and him in the field, anything's possible. So that's the mindset we're going for season 4. So yeah, I know we're going to be strong. There's no doubt about that. Like, straight up, we're going to be aiming for 1-2s every race. And that's even if I come second and Eric comes first. I don't even care what the result is, as long as we're 1-2 and we're beating everyone on the circuit. You know, we're trying to make a statement at the end of the day that TI Racing is the best team in the league.
That's very un-Formula One-like of you. But needless to say, a great job tonight. Never heard him say, as long as we go 1-2, I don't care where we finish. I'll tell Mercedes that. So with all that said, congrats on your season. Obviously, second chance champion, I believe, with the of course Happy Trails Chili Mix and Raceverse. Give shout outs to whoever you'd like to.
Like to give a shout out to Chris and the guys at Grublets on Ice. Usual thing for Chris. He sorts the team out. Blah blah blah. Chris, and then Grublets for sponsoring the team. Like to give a shout out to Matt Houston for sponsoring the Second Chance Championship, and want to thank you guys as well for doing such a great job week in, week out. And I've got something exciting to watch tomorrow now.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate watching you out there. You put on a great show for us. I've obviously said my things about you. I think you're a fantastic driver and stuff like that, and you definitely put on a show. And we wish you nothing but the best. Have a good holiday and stuff, and we'll see you next season.
Oh, and a quick shout out to Caleb for being number 1, baby. Caleb is the champion. Let's go, Caleb. So yeah, thank you guys.
You could tell he goes on like a 25-mile run before he runs this race.
Yeah.
He's full of energy. Anyways, nice job, Isaac.
Hey, thank you guys.
Absolutely, buddy. Isaac Morris here joining us for this, and here on this, well, actually he ran away, I think. Oh, he's down here. I'm going to go get both these guys up here with us real quickly as we, I continue to mess around with buttons down here. We got him up here with us now. We're going to bring him up here with us now as we are joined by the team owner of the championship driver and the driver himself, Caleb Bensey. Matt Houston has joined us from Raceverse, of course. Matt, you bring this young man in from Ohio, and let's actually back this up a step. We have a driver join us who has no team, and he comes in as an independent driver, and we make mention after his first start, like, hey, man, you should check out a team on here, and here comes Matt Houston, sweeps him up, and that driver wins a championship this season. Matt, you got to be proud of what Caleb's done.
Definitely proud of him. I saw him over in the Reddit series, and I knew he could win a championship. He won the championship over there. After that round 1, I don't even remember, what was it, Detroit?
Yes, this season, yes.
So I told him, I messaged him right after that. I said, don't sign with a team unless you're going to be paid. And come the following Monday, I asked him, hey, do you have a team yet? Has anybody offered anything? And I said, hey, drive for me, and you'll get X, and we signed the paperwork, and he was driving for me from there on.
Signed the paperwork and make money? I got to work on this. No,
deal,
I'm kidding. That's a pretty good deal there, Caleb. But no, and that's awesome to hear. And Matt, he went all the way through the series. He had one bad finish, and that was just let's be honest, a freak deal at Monza. That happened with his
fault. Yeah,
it wasn't even his fault. It was just a freak deal where, unfortunately, a lap car lost it in front of him, and he was going for his own ride, pretty much at that point. But otherwise, consistency and not to mention wins Indianapolis, and it was almost like that was the catapult that pushed him up to the front, and he was able to hold on at that point.
Right. Well, I'll let Caleb talk about his accomplishments, but he had a great run for the team, and I'm really happy for him and happy for the team, and look forward to going for maybe a team championship next season.
There you go. And that's Matt Houston there. And Caleb, yeah, what a run for you this season. You were Mr. Consistency. I was saying it all season long. It started back at Detroit, and you were just consistent. Top fives almost every race. Matter of fact, this might be actually one of your worst races of the season, and you finished 6th.
Yeah, it's definitely it's been a fun season. I honestly came in here with not a lot of expectations. Just try to put together good races and good finishes and stuff. And like you said, just trying to knock off top fives and get an opportunity to win Indy, and closing there was big. And yeah, it's just I don't know, I've really found strength in being consistent and not pushing a limit too much. Like today, I was matching the pace of Alex. I had a few chances to pass him, and towards the end, I realized I was good and just want to back off, not risk it. You see a lot of people make
There you
mistakes in
go.
there. So
Yeah.
I've had that mindset from the beginning. Trying to just fight the right battles, and and it paid off in the end. Really, really, or could be happier for sure.
Let's go back to October. All right, so you've run top 5 pretty much in every race in the first 4 races. Then race number 5 comes Monza. You're running top 5. The deal happens. You have your accident. So you don't have a good finish. As a matter of fact, you finish on your top and out of the race. You come back that next week to Indianapolis. Most drivers are probably feeling terrible after leaving Monza, and it kind of affects them going to Indianapolis. But you sit back and just kind of ride top 3 all season long, or all race long, and you make that move to win that race. At that moment, did you feel, okay, look, that race is behind me now. We're looking ahead, and we're able to, we got the momentum now to get back going and get this thing?
Yeah, for sure. I know the finish of Monza was obviously something out of my control, really. But, I mean, that whole race was very rough for me, honestly. It was a lot of mistakes and just couldn't feel – or just wasn't comfortable there. Mm-hmm. And obviously was capitalized by that accident. But I knew going to Indy, I've always felt very comfortable at Indy and loved that track, honestly. And I knew it was a very track position type race. And a lot of that race – Isaac and Rick, I think, were just side by side, and I was just kind of minding my business there. And I knew I had the pace if I had the lead to stay out front, but obviously just didn't really have that opportunity yet. So I was able to capitalize on it. And yeah, from there it was mainly just, keep that momentum rolling and continue the good finishes and hope in the end it ends with a championship. And thankfully it did.
It all worked out for you in that, and of course that takes you to where we are now. Well, Caleb, congratulations. You are the champion for season 3.
Champ.
Season 3, Gary, before I officially crown him, you got any questions for Caleb or anything you want to say?
No, just congrats, champ. Looking forward to seeing you again at next season. You get to wear the number 1 badge in 2 leagues now. That's quite an accomplishment, and so congratulations, and hope to see more of you.
I appreciate that, guys. And also just want to thank Matt. I know he's here as well, but thank him for letting me on the team. I've had a great time so far and learned a lot, and glad we can get a championship for him, race first, and everyone involved. So, yeah, great.
Yeah, you've said it best right there, but you're officially the champion for season 3 of the LMCgear.com iRacing IndyCar series. I know you started to send a couple shout outs there, but this is your time. Whoever you want to say thanks to, go ahead.
Yeah, again, just thank Matt and everyone at Race First for taking me in, and then got a nice group of family and friends that watch every week. My girlfriend tunes in, and so I want to thank all of them who are watching right now. They've loved the whole iRacing, races like this and the leagues and everything, so they've enjoyed it as well. So glad I could close out the championship for everyone watching, and yeah, just incredibly happy.
We did a great job. Congrats again. Go celebrate. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll be talking in January.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
All right, absolutely. Caleb Bensey, the champion of season number 3, and Matt Houston, of course, owner of the team, and Alex is here too still, which is good because I did want to talk to Alex Van de Sande, who I believe is going to be the runner-up in the point standings when it's all over with. I know him and Cohen are right there neck and neck along with Caleb. But Alex, tough race for you tonight. Top 5 finish. I know you had one little small incident of a slowdown early in that race. Otherwise, it seemed like a fairly clean race for you.
Yeah, that slowdown was frustrating, to say the least. It's pretty broken on the first lap. I was trying my hardest not to get a slowdown at all costs, but just made that little mistake. Oh, well. Yeah, other than that, mostly clean race. Really good battle with Cohen, or with Isaac and Caleb there. And I think I'm proud of how I drove the rest of that. It just wasn't quite enough to get the championship.
Yeah, it seemed like you and Caleb and Cohen were right on top of another for most of that race, and Isaac too when he was in that battle. Talk about the draft, because that's one thing I haven't had really a chance to ask anybody else, because they were mostly out there by themselves. But you four were, for the most part, in a pack together, if it was just three of you or whatever. But the draft just seemed to be so huge. It was almost like you guys were just playing pass down the straightaway, and just whoever's in the back's in the back at this moment or whatever.
Yeah, one of the big keys to this race was breaking the draft and keeping the draft if you were behind.
Mm-hmm.
So at that one point, so Isaac had his issue. I let him just pull me up to catch Caleb again after I had my slowdown. And then I tried to follow Isaac through and then get around Caleb and let Isaac pull me up to Cohen again, but it just wasn't quite enough. I didn't quite have the pace to stay with him. It was really a very tactical race.
We did a fantastic job this season. Unfortunately, it looks like you're going to be maybe runner-up again here in Season 3, just like you were in Season 2. I asked you this question last season. I'll ask it again this season. What did you learn that you could take with you to Season 4 that can get you that difference?
I think I've become a lot more comfortable, not just with this car, but with all the cars on braking and car control. I'm making way fewer mistakes during races and during practices and during qualifying. I'm still making mistakes and pushing that limit too far, but I'm better at finding where that limit is and not going over it as often. So still improving there, but I've gotten so much better with that.
Gary, you got any questions for Alex?
No, I'm just, it's been a pleasure to watch you all season. I've learned so much from you. Got to know a little bit more about you as a person, as a driver. So thanks a lot. And I really hope that we see you next season, which I'm sure we will. And one of these days, dude, there's a championship with your name on it. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And whether that's next season, the season after, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, no, and the field is going to be a lot tougher next season too, so it's just going to be an even bigger challenge. I'm really excited for it.
Well, fantastic job on your part, Alex. Second place championship run when it's all over with, and you know what? Congrats on that, and we will see you next season. Enjoy the holidays, and eat plenty of chili.
Yes, I will. Thanks, fellas. Thanks. You've done an awesome job with the broadcast this season and last season. Thank you.
Absolutely. Send shout-outs. I don't know if you did or not. I don't remember if I asked you or not, but go ahead and send shout-outs whoever you want to.
Shout out to Happy Trails Chili Company, running their livery, and big thank you to Jim Herrick and LMCgear.com, and my teammates, Cohen, Craig, and Jim. I've learned a ton from them. We work together really, really well, and Jim's doing an awesome job as a team manager and doing a great job helping run the league. So, yeah.
Well, great job, Alex. Congrats on your, again, second place championship run this season, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. So, Alex Van de Sant finishing second in points. Got a lot of interviews that we're going through here. As a matter of fact, let's bring we'll bring Dakota up here too. Why not? Dakota DeMed, of course, his season didn't get what he wanted this season with the championship, but
what are you guys interviewing me for?
Because you're here and you finished up in the top 5 in points. You deserve an interview too.
I did. It's my first interview. I finally made it, guys.
Look there.
After getting fourth so many times and missing out on the podium, I finally get to talk to you guys.
Mr. Tom Sneva.
Well, Dakota,
That's
you finished.
A good comparison.
Yeah, right. You can't be ashamed of that one. You finished 4th in the season, and tonight, not the best race for you. You had some issues, but you did finish 8th, and you got 4th in the championship. Talk about some of the goals you had this season. Did you get them achieved? Some that maybe you want to work on for next season and so forth.
I wanted a podium at some point this season, so I'm disappointed I didn't get one. I was robbed of one at Homestead.
I think we know what happened there.
Rick beat me. Rick was ahead of me at the final caution by like a hundredth of a second, and I should have gotten second. Anyway, tonight I tried to. I didn't have anything for Alex and Caleb and Ed and everyone else, so I just tried to cut as many corners as I can. and got way too many slowdowns. So it was a bad strategy. But next season, I don't know what I'm gonna do because they're still good and I'm still bad. So
that is not true, man.
Yeah, you can't beat
you can
yourself
be on
up.
my team anytime.
Hopefully I can sneak out a win at Indy or another oval. I think I can do it there. I can do it on the ovals. Road courses, I still got much to learn.
Well, you did a fantastic job this season. I mean, and that's something to build on for next season. Talk about what you could do next season to help yourself improve.
Just a ton of practice. I gotta put double the hours into the sim and just figure out. I gotta save every single one of Isaac's replays and copy his exact inputs, basically, because
Intel.
That guy is like on a whole nother level.
Oh no, isn't he? Man.
2 another levels. He's in another galaxy. He's just but yeah, I'm just gonna hit the film room and hit the simulator and keep working, That's pretty much it.
Well, you did a fantastic job on the season, and you get your time here. Send shout out to whoever you like to.
Shout out Sunset Arctic Games. That's my company. Follow me on Twitter at Sunset Arctic. I got some new products coming out soon. You guys are going to enjoy it. Shout out to Alyssa, Lucas, Jeff, Michael, Eric. Those are my friends that watch sometimes. I appreciate it when they watch.
Sometimes.
I don't think they watched tonight, but they do. They did in the Michigan race. They got rowdy in the Michigan race, I've heard.
I think I know what he means by rowdy. Yeah, okay.
They're having fun.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. They're a good group of guys. So that's all from me.
There you go.
Thanks. You guys are doing great on the broadcast. I love it. Yeah. I thank you guys for putting this on. It's super fun, and I hope we have a great next season.
Oh,
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. So great job on that, and make sure you check out his game on Steam. By the way, you can go buy it.
Oh
on
yeah,
Steam and
Baltic Pistol.
Yeah, we just got to work on a college football game now. Just saying. But anywho, great job out there, and congrats on your 4th place points finish.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Dakota DeMed joins us now. Gary. As I move myself again, I did it again. There we go. You move, not me. Gary, I want to go back. And usually we have the Happy Trails chili mix spicy overtake of the race. It's something we've been doing since about mid-season. And what we normally do is we find a move in the race that we felt was a spicy overtake, just like the award says, basically, and we go with that. However, I think I did the math as we were doing the interviews there, and of course, each point in this series is 1 point per position, all the way down to last. So, if you go back to Indianapolis race, if Caleb finishes where he finishes, he wins his championship by 1 point. And this whole thing could have been different. So I think the spicy overtake isn't specifically for this race. I think it is the move at Indianapolis that won Caleb that race, propelled him to the point lead into the championship.
You know, they say that football is a game of inches and racing is a game of milliseconds, tenths of seconds, hundreds of seconds, thousands of seconds. And that's kind of what all it boiled down to. One instant this entire season that we really still don't have a photographic proof that he actually did cross the finish line before everyone else. But that is that 1.001002003 margin of victory, which we still don't really know exactly what it was. That's what did it. That is the margin of victory for this entire season.
So I think it's okay from the sponsors and from obviously the admins and stuff like that. We're going to call that the spicy overtake of the season was that move at Indianapolis, coming off turn 4 by Bensi. Of course, brought to you by Happy Trails. If Tom Hoover's Happy Trails chili seasoning mix, if you add beef, tomato sauce, and water, you get World Championship chili, and so much more. So congratulations again. I know Caleb won the championship and that kind of thing, and we're seem to be talking about him a lot, but you know what? He deserves it, 1. But 2, that move won him one of the best Indy 500s real life or video game I've ever seen. And that was definitely a lot of fun to be a part of. So congratulations, Caleb, and appreciate all the good people there at Happy Trails Chili Seasoning Mix for being a part of the series. And appreciate all the sponsors for being a part of the series. Tonight was NRW Photography being a part of the series. But we had so many great sponsors. And, of course, I'm sure I can speak
I can't thank the sponsors enough. I mean, without them, the LMC Gear series doesn't happen. Without them, all these races don't happen. Out without them, this is not broadcast. Without them, I don't meet you. Without them, we don't have fun. Sponsors are everything. Sponsors make the world go around, and I want to thank every single one of these sponsors. Thanks so much for putting faith into the TILMCgear.com IndyCar series, and as well as the rest of us that take part in the show every week.
That's well said. So I definitely second that motion. All the sponsors, appreciate you guys this season being a part of it. And I'm sure I can speak for Jim Herrick, who works really hard, and Chris Lewis, who works really hard to get all this put together to make this series go. And they've done a great job, and it's been my pleasure to be a part of it for 2 seasons. Gary, I appreciate you coming up. And, well, it all started with you pretty much chatting with me throughout that first race. That night, I don't even remember where that track was now. All of a sudden, off the top of my head.
Mid-Ohio, I think.
Was it Mid-Ohio? But you were sitting there giving me all the insight, and I'm like, man, this guy needs to come with me into the booth. But that night was a lot of fun. We appreciate it. Season and a half in the books now. We'll go get ready for season number 4 in January. So appreciate your time and what you do, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, thanks a lot. Make sure to check me out on Twitter at Gary Godso, or at Gary Godso, excuse me. And make sure you follow all of the Captain TV media links. We'll do this again next season. Chris, it's been my pleasure, absolute pleasure. Every Monday night, I don't mind missing wrestling just to sit here with you and call these races. It's a highlight of my week. So thank you very much.
Well, if I have to, I can return the favor in a way of giving you username and passwords to certain things that if I have to. So just saying.
Oh wow.
Anyways,
I don't know about that.
I'm not going to say to what. Anyways, but no, appreciate Gary coming on there and being a part of this. So, all right, so we're going to take off here and we're going to go relax for the rest of 2020. I believe the plan is for January 4th, I think was what Jim had told me was a tentative date. So we'll see. Obviously, that could be changed, but that's still what a month away almost as we're here December 7th. So definitely want to be hopefully one of the first people to wish everyone a very happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. A happy Hanukkah to those two also that celebrate that. And hopefully you guys enjoy your December. Stay warm, especially those up there in Indiana and in the Midwest. I know already have had some snowstorms up in that area. As a matter of fact, I've had snow in northeast Georgia already in this area. So I know you guys are really feeling cold if it's, 40 here tonight. So you guys stay warm up there. Eat a tenderloin for me, please, or 10. I don't care. Just eat one for me. Those are delicious. Anyways, and I'm just going to shut up now because I know I can ramble on probably forever here. But most of all, and I'm trying to think of the most creative way I can end this broadcast because I know I have my saying I like to say. But when it comes to Christmas time and somebody gets mad, your brother, your sister, your parents, or something, because you got the gift you want and they didn't, and they get mad at you and they get annoyed and say, all right, it's okay, it's just a gift anyways. Be like, no, it's not just a gift, it's my gift. How's that? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
It's iRacing.
Yeah, it's iRacing. That's your gift. Bye 2020. We'll see you next year. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Let go